All right. Today's question is, if women have the right to choose or not to have a baby, then men should have the right to choose and not pay child support?
Sounds right.
What is our thoughts on this matter? What do we have to say about it?
Yes.
You're looking at me?
No.
Let's dive right
Yes,
into it.
absolutely. They have a right to choose. However,
Mhm.
if they choose not to pay child support, they have no rights to that child.
That's not what I expected
No?
from you.
You thought I would be the other
I kind of thought
way.
your take on the matter, Josh, probably hits on various levels with you two over there.
Does it? Oh.
I don't know. It's like
Um,
how involved dads are, child support, etc.
well, I don't really have any experience with that,
Mhm.
other than
Your sister.
I don't deal with that though.
No.
And then my girlfriend, her dad paid, but also because he was forced to, didn't want anything to do with her. Still doesn't.
Yeah.
So
There's a
I think I'm going to agree with your take.
Yeah.
I was pretty indifferent on it. Like I don't have an answer to this because I don't think either one is a good answer.
I mean,
don't think either one fixes anything. So
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And let's leave apart, let's leave out, the
See-
women having a right to choose.
Yeah.
Let's leave that.
Here they can.
Yeah, thankfully, thankfully we live in a state that we do, I do,
Yeah.
that women have that right. However, in Illinois,
Mhm.
if you are on the birth certificate, I don't think you cannot, and the woman takes you to court, you cannot bow out. However, in the state of Missouri,
Mhm.
if you deny your child, like you cannot be on the birth certificate,
Mhm.
and you can deny all your rights to said child. However, a judge can say no, you're still paying child support, so he really has no
Yeah.
choice. Also, when you in the act of making a child, you go in with it knowing that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that a man should, yeah. But then you also have no right with being a dad.
Yeah, I just don't think I think two things, they're different. They're both really hard things to talk about. They're real, and I get it. But like, women should have the right to their bodies. Men should be legally responsible financially for children, if it's their children that they helped create. I think the reason why I say that is because I feel like every child also has the right. Children, they have rights too. They have a right to be financially supported.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately they do. But I mean, unfortunately, under the law, the child doesn't have any.
Mhm.
There's no like you're safe to like your well-being, a roof over your head, food on your table. That's the extent where it comes from.
Yeah, no, it's legally required that the man who helped create child.
If he's on the birth certificate.
Well, I mean, there's ways around it though. I mean, they can get there's DNA testing. There's all kinds of stuff that they can go about it. Because do you think every man that paid child support puts their name on that birth certificate from the start?
If he signs the birth certificate, if a woman goes, say they're not married, because if you're
Mhm.
married, it's a whole other different ballgame. So I'm
Mhm.
assuming that we're talking about an unwed mother.
Right.
Because like if you are married, then you
Mhm.
are already saying yes. It's a whole different ballgame. So unwed, legally in the state of Illinois, you have to sign that birth certificate. If the man, like if a woman names the man as this is the father of my child, he has to sign that birth certificate. Otherwise, he cannot be listed.
If he wants rights to that child, to be with the child, right?
No, overall, in general, when you
Mhm.
have a child, you sign the birth certificate saying that
Mhm.
you're the father of this child. However, if a woman says, I don't know who the father is, then it's not listed.
Yeah.
Or if he doesn't, or she says this is who he is, and he doesn't sign it, he's not on that birth certificate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I feel like that's not accurate. Though.
But it is. That's.
No, but the thing is, then that's a problem if it is.
I don't create the law.
I know you don't. I know you don't, but I feel like the men, if you helped create a child, you did half of it.
Yeah,
you did it.
I'm
It takes two. I don't care what people say is fair and not fair. You helped create that child.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is fair.
The financial responsibility should be on you. At least half of it should. I'm not saying that he should pay for all of it.
Yeah.
At least half. because that
Which is
child, at
12%.
the end of the day, has rights and should be taken
In the
care
state
of.
of Illinois. Just,
You know.
Yeah,
I feel like you do everything in your power to make sure that that kid is good.
I'm 100% agreeing with you here. I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's right. I am just
Yeah.
saying, under the law of the state of Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
if you are not listed on the birth certificate as a man,
Mm-hmm.
like saying that you're the father, you do not have to pay child support.
But then, how do they go after
Because the
dads
woman takes him to court,
Okay.
and then he has to say either verbally that you're consenting, because you
Mm-hmm.
do. I don't know if you guys remember, but you guys did say that. I forget what it's called. Verification, something, that you're agreeing that you're the dad.
I don't remember that at all.
You do.
There probably was
You do.
something.
Yeah.
You
It was
do.
a long
It's
couple
one of
days.
those weird things
Yeah.
that you just lump it in here,
Yeah.
sign this. It's along with the Social Security.
So-
You do sign this. So a woman takes a man to court,
Mm-hmm.
and he either says verbally, yes, I'm agreeing that I'm the father. And if he doesn't, in the state of Illinois, he has to take a DNA test. And that's how they do it.
Okay. So, and if he takes the DNA test and then it turns out he is the
Yeah.
father,
Then he's responsible.
then he okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were saying that they are only responsible. Doesn't matter what. That the only way they're responsible is that they sign that thing.
The
As long as they
No,
don't
no,
sign
no.
it, they're good. So like you can go out and get.
Well- Yeah, we're going
You- you like- you go out-
And we're both agreeing.
Same words, just
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, so a woman or a man can go out and knock somebody up, and then peace. Like, don't worry about it.
I mean,
as long
unless
as long as he doesn't sign anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have to sign that, and as long as that woman says, fine, whatever,
Mhm.
walk away, I'll raise this baby on my own.
But she can always.
But then, yeah, she can always, until the child's like 18 or something like that, take him to court.
Mm-hmm.
But until that happens,
Yeah.
he does not have to pay child support
Mm-hmm.
until there is some sort of judgment.
That's it. Yeah, judgment,
Do
and
they have
then
to pay back pay if the mom goes in like, yeah, the kid's 16. Like I didn't
Sure,
want the dad, and
16
didn't
years.
want the dad
Mhm.
involved at all. And then 16 years later down the line, she's like, I'm gonna sue him for child support, even though I didn't want him. They're gonna make him pay all of that. Do they make him pay that back 16 years, or is it just from that starting point?
You better have a good lawyer that's
There's
on that
probably
side.
a
That
way.
just sounds.
A lot of stuff is
Yeah.
nuts. Like
Yeah,
there's,
it
there's
really
so
is.
much unfairness in
It is.
all of it.
None of it
Yeah.
is
Because
geared
guys
towards
can
men.
get screwed over too.
Yeah,
yeah.
and in the
I-
state of Illinois, we're a pro mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys
Yeah.
can get screwed over real easily.
Yeah.
Legally, varying states.
Yeah,
Right.
varying states, but in
Yeah.
the state of Illinois, that I do know, it is
Yeah.
a
There's a lot of messiness involved, but
There
at the end of the day, that child didn't ask for that.
Nope.
That child had nothing to do with that. That was between the parents. Don't make the child suffer through something that they can't control, that they didn't ask for, but they're like, you know what, I'm here.
Well, I guess you could say with a kid, yeah.
the
It's
kid.
a kind of like it's a strange debate, and I'm kind of on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a kind of like saying the mom can choose to be mom and keep it, like, and she
Mhm.
chooses for the guy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one way
It's
or
kinda
the
like-
other.
Yeah.
I'm deciding this for you.
Like I'm
In a-
saying,
in a weird way.
I just feel like the whole like abortion stuff and then like child support stuff, I feel like it's separate. Both of them are very debatable and stuff like that or whatever. I don't think they connect by any means. I don't think there's a right, because it's right this way, it's right the other way. I feel like it's separate matters.
You got to take out there's a whole morality and ethics
Mhm.
that fall into this.
And probably different levels
Yeah.
of character amongst
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So while I do agree that you create a child, you have sex, you know that you're going into it, that this is a possibility.
mhm.
Always, no matter what. Nothing is 100%.
Yeah.
Nothing. Besides abstinence. So you know that this is a possibility
Yeah.
that you are creating a child. So I think automatically, yes, you should.
Mhm.
But she has a right to her body and her make
Mhm.
their choice, which I'm 100% for.
Yeah.
Then he has a right. But then also I'm on that,
Mhm.
and I will stand on this hill and die on it, that you do not pay child support, you get no say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no rights.
That would
I-
make sense.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Is there cases that doesn't matter?
What do you mean? Like,
Like,
Pay child
are there
support
people out
and-
here that don't pay but are still demanding like rights and stuff?
guess-
'Cause I feel
guess
like
so.
I imagine there's all kinds of messiness.
I mean, example, but I would think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I feel like the kind of person that wouldn't pay child support.
There are people
But
who
Wanna
I
don't.
show
wouldn't really want to care anyway.
There are people who don't pay child support, and then your all kinds of laws come into play. You don't get like your tax returns. You don't get to have a passport.
Your paycheck will get docked.
Yeah, that too.
Mhm.
Garnished.
Takes a while,
Definitely.
but to get there. But yeah, well,
I was gonna ask what happened if you didn't pay.
Yeah, it sounds like their life is worse.
Take everything.
The
They
more
take
you
everything.
the more you try to dodge it, I feel like the worse it just gets for you.
Yeah,
it's
'cause
to the fact it's not even worth it.
it is a judgment too. Like a judge can say, okay, because you have to fill out
Mhm.
massive amount of paperwork for child support, and you have to declare like all these things,
Yeah,
and it's part of your lifestyle, and which is kind of interesting that it doesn't read in, but it's whatever. And in the state of Illinois, it's like 12% of your income.
yeah,
And it can vary. That's like
Mhm.
up to. And
yeah,
also, if you have more than one baby mama, that judge doesn't care.
yeah.
You get 12%. Like the first baby mama, she'll get 12%. The
Mhm.
second one will get 12% of whatever's left over.
I feel like Nick Cannon have like
I
85
can't even
kids.
imagine.
Then it must be more than all of your income at some point.
At some
you can
point.
do it so many
Yeah.
times to get to everything.
Right.
I don't know how
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, I don't either.
I remember it was a few years. This was like 20 years ago, but it was talking about Will Smith, like I guess the kid from his first marriage or his first kid or something that wasn't with Jada before he started hitting people. That it was all the talk. I think it was like 20% in California, and he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
high earner,
Yeah.
right? Especially 20 years ago, and people were discussing like, is this right amongst the top tier? Like, does it take $5 million a year to raise a child? Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
But had that child been in a household, right, with him,
Mhm.
They would have had
the
access
lap
to
of
that.
luxury
Yeah.
to that. That was kind of a interesting debate. I think it was just recently, wasn't it? This is not. This is a random fact. I think it was Kelly Clarkson got divorced. He has to pay spousal support,
Spousal
and it was something absurd. I think it was like $200,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like she asked.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
because
has to.
she earns a lot more than her
Yeah.
spouse.
I worked.
Probably
With,
wanted some young
Dude,
man.
Probably should have premium.
I worked with a guy that quit his job because he got that from his ex-wife. They got a divorce, and he didn't have to work anymore because she was paying. I don't know. It wasn't alimony. I don't know. It was something like that or whatever. But anyways, he was making enough
It's
off of her
spousal support is
that-
what they call it now.
Yeah.
that he didn't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
He quit. He was like, I'm done. I was like, man, that must be a lot. But turns out that she was like a higher up at Purina Farm
Yeah,
or
like a
something.
grown ass man getting paid $200,000 a year just because he was married to Kelly Clarkson.
I was
It's
gonna
a strange
say,
world.
$200K
to
a
live in.
month.
But that a month.
A month,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let alone a year. A month. That's insane.
what a deal.
Yeah. What a guy.
Yeah. But I don't know. Back to the original topic. I just feel like they're two separate things, and it just needs to stay the way it is. I don't know. It's my take.
I feel like there's too many different things going on to make just an answer for it. It's,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Every case just too different. I feel like.
But there has to be some sort of precedent.
Some sort of law. or
Yeah.
something.
And then that's why I'm saying
There's
it's
has to
too
be a-
difficult,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
why I don't have an answer.
There's a
It's just-
baseline.
Yeah.
There has to be a baseline of if I'm something. But like I said, there is judgment.
Mhm.
The judge does proceed over it, and he makes the choice at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think it might fall where Kelly falls on this. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll pick that one too.
All right. Well, there you have it.